Welcome to Faith Lead Serve for October. I'm Dr. Bill Withers. You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about how organizations adapt to change and how some choose to stay ahead of the curve by trying new things, innovating and reinventing themselves, and then again how some organizations don't or choose not to. You know, there's a way to visualize that that's kind of neat, very, very simple, using a standard S-curve, a sigmoid. But just remember, an S-curve is just a visualization of how an organization might track growth or progress over time. Those are usually the two variables, time being on an X-axis and growth plotted on a Y-axis. And it doesn't matter if you're for-profit, nonprofit, you could be a school, a church, a business. Every organization eventually goes through a life cycle of change and growth over time. They also plateau. And sometimes they just stay there, and that's why we joke about flat is the new up. But sadly, though, some organizations start to decline in performance. So let me show you what I mean. We're going to paint with some very broad brushstrokes, so bear with me. Here is the X-axis over time, and it really doesn't matter what you measure. It could be months, quarters, even years. That's up to you. And over here, the Y-axis. And it can represent whatever you want to as well, performance standards. But for the sake of conversation today, we'll say it's the sale of widgets. Now, watch over time. Widget sales are going to grow, but eventually they're also going to plateau. And in some cases, they might even start a downward trend. And that is where many organizations get confused. They scratch their head because they're forced to change. The truly forward-thinking, proactive organizations, those are the Amazons, the Apples, and the Starbucks of the world, they start reading the tea leaves about right here. And they start thinking in innovative and entrepreneurial ways about what might be next, long before there's a decline here. They've redesigned their widgets. They've created new widgets, a whole new model and line of widgets, and in a way, a whole new life cycle that spins out and creates growth for them. So here's my question. How are widget sales going for you? Where is your organization at on the standard S-curve, or do you have trouble with the curve? Are you leading proactively, or is change being done to you? Just know that it's likely easier to lead change and growth on the upswing than it is when things have slowed, plateaued, or even worse. I'll give you a few links just below, some resources to help you a bit more. Until next time, that's Faith Lead Serve for October. Thanks again to my friends at Fourth Wall Productions. I'm Dr. Bill Withers, and we'll see you next time.